And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fleming Film Show with me, Robbie Fleming. And join me, as always, is Justin Doyle. Hello, Justin.
Hey, Rob, what's going on?
It's a very hot day today. The last 2 days have been extremely hot. When it was like it had a little, we call it spitting in this country. It's just a tiny little rain. I was literally like, it felt like the Shawshank Redemption when I saw the rain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. It's like 85 here, so it's hot for us, but I'm sure it's hotter over there for you.
Yes. Do you want to say what we're talking about today?
Yeah, so today we are talking about, with Thor Love and Thunder coming out, we are talking about fourth installments in movie franchises or series. This is a tough one. There's not a lot of good ones, so we kind of had to go with our favorites or ones that, it'll be different than our third installments because there's not a lot of fourth installments, so we do need to pick from that sort of list as well.
Definitely. Because some of them are great, but some of them are okay at best, and some of them are just downright terrible.
Yeah. So speaking of Thor: Love and Thunder, what do you think?
I thought it was no Ragnarok, but I preferred it to Thor 1 and 2. I might probably dislike it more on a rewatch now I've been thinking about the movie in my head. But I think Christian Bale and Russell Crowe are definitely the scene sealers in that film.
100% agreed. No doubt. Those were the best parts of the movie. Yeah, it fell flat for me.
Yeah, I can see why them screaming goats must have done your head in too.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was just too silly without being like smart as well, you know. I don't know. And then the music was I'm really over the music trying to be an extra character in movies, you know. I just think it's
like the Guns N' Roses soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but you know, like Guardians of the Galaxy did it. Baby Driver did it well, you know. I think
the best one is one of your favorite movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, but they didn't throw it in our faces like Thor and Guardians and Baby Driver as much, you know. But yeah, it is a good soundtrack. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but yeah, this one just didn't work for me. But it's fine, you know.
I can see sometimes when it's like the same singer or same band, it does get a bit boring. Like if Lady Gaga did every single song for Top Gun Maverick rather than just Hold My Hand, the soundtrack wouldn't be as effective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just got the old Top Gun record, so I'm excited to play that one.
Now that soundtrack's legendary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So since I went first when Dan was on the show, do you want to go first?
Sure. All right. So coming in my number 5, this is a movie that is a part of a movie franchise, fourth installment that I really loved as a kid. I was a huge fan of this franchise. I mean, we always wanted to be the main character in this movie so much where we would mimic the karate moves from the franchise The Karate Kid, and the fourth installment is The Next Karate Kid, starring Hilary Swank as the Karate Kid this time. Of course, Pat Morita's back as Mr. Miyagi. And it's not a great film overall, and it's definitely the worst in the 4 of the movies. But we were so excited.
The first Karate Kid, so fire away. What made it land on the list?
Well, again, it's just it was a tough fourth installment's really tough. But I just remember we were so excited for a new Karate Kid to come out because we really And then yeah, I mean, Hilary Swank's a great actress. This is obviously this is before she kind of blew up. She's still sort of a high schooler. But yeah, she's a troubled adolescent girl, and she gets trained by Mr. Miyagi because they happen to live near each other. And yeah, I mean, she goes to this Buddhist monk temple, which is really cool. She also is dealing with relationship stuff, sort of like Daniel-san. But yeah, Michael Ironside is in this movie. He was a great actor.
Is the
Walter
karate still over the top?
is a karate over the top.
Yeah, because I always find the first one, the karate's a bit too. It's not. Well, my friend's a black belt, so obviously, so obviously, he says that's not real karate what they do in their movies.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, so I can't tell you. But it's nothing like a John Wick or anything. This is like a straight up tournament style karate. Walter Goggins is always in it, or is also in it, and we know him, from Fat Man recently and TV shows and stuff. So it's a fine film. I just think it was a great, another installment. This is the same director that did Young Guns. So that was a fun film. What else did he do? The Principal, Gone Fishing. So some heavy movies, but this is definitely a family fun film. And it's gotten the huge resurgence with Cobra Kai out on Netflix and stuff. So I'm sure this is the least popular in the franchise, but it is the fourth installment in this franchise, and it's my number 5 is the next Karate Kid. Let's see if it has any box office down here. Just the budget. Okay, the budget was 12 million. Worldwide gross is 15.8. So didn't do well. I think maybe kids and boys were really nervous about
Is an IMDb.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure boys were not happy about a girl being the main character. So that's probably
if
why.
they did that now, that would just be normal.
Right, exactly. 7% Rotten Tomatoes, 24% audience score, and 4.5 in IMDb. So it doesn't give it any sort of love, but it'll do for my 5th favorite fourth installment.
Right, my number 5 is kind of controversial, and I feel like if it wasn't from this director, it wouldn't be on this list. The director of this film is Mr. Steven Spielberg, continuing on with his adventures of Indiana Jones. This is the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Why?
Right. I have fun with all these movies. I find one quite entertaining because you got Harrison Ford back, and I like Aliens, so it works for me. Because I kind of like how Cate Blanchett's the villain, and she's pretty cool. You have Ray Winstone, John Hurt, Jim Broadbent. You have 3 British legends in it, and it's more the cast that make this movie than the story. I get it why people don't like this, as it is a bit silly how he survives a nuclear blast just by hiding in a fridge. But I just like his adventures, and I think this was a fun adventure for Indiana Jones. Plus, this was at the time Shia LaBeouf was becoming a superstar, and I thought he was good. I can't see him being in the 5th one because of his attitude, but yeah, I think overall this isn't a bad movie as what people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not horrible, but when you have 3 almost masterpieces before it, I think everyone was just wondering why, and then they're still, after it's made, they're still wondering why. But yeah, Karen Allen made her return to this. Yeah. But yeah, this came up on the list a lot of worst fourth installments, because a lot of people didn't really care for this one. I was excited when it came out because I'm a big Spielberg fan, and I probably know more about this one than any of the others because I've seen
I
it.
can picture this one being your favourite one that was made after you were born.
No. There was one that was made after I was born.
Oh, the one with Sean Connery.
Yeah.
That's probably your
Yeah,
favourite one then.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to find these as favorites in any of my oeuvre for some reason. I don't know why Indiana Jones never landed with me, but I do love Harrison Ford. He's one of my favies. Huge movie. 185 million was the budget. 790.6 million was the box office taken. So that's huge. 6.1 on IMDb, 78% Rotten Tomatoes, and 53% audience score. 78 is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
that is
certified
very,
fresh.
yeah, that is a very good. I'm
For
surprised.
that,
I'm surprised to hear that 78%.
yeah. That's certified fresh for them, so they're good with that. Neil Flynn's also in this movie, who was in Scrubs.
Yes, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's so funny. John Hurt as a professor.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kate Blanchett as the villain. So it's a good cast. Definitely a good cast.
Yeah, probably one of the best Spielberg's worked with.
All right.
It's just a shame he's not working on number 5.
He's not gonna do it.
No, James Mangold's doing it, but we'll do James Mangold films another day.
I'm sure it's still gonna be an Amblin film. A Spielberg produced movie.
I think he's producing it still.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will see what happens there.
Yes.
All righty. My number 4 in the 4th installment of movie franchises. This may be on your list. This is a movie that is action. This is one of my favorite sort of genres, is an action flick. Just this year, this actor starred in a movie that just crossed the $1 billion mark. And it's part of a different franchise, though.
I have a feeling this will be your number 4.
Yes, this is starring, always above the title, is Mr. Tom Cruise, and this is 2015 Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
I don't mean Ghost Protocol.
I mean, yeah, Gross Protocol. Yeah, Gross Protocol. Yes. Were you thinking about putting this on your list?
Yeah, but then I thought to myself, I'll watch the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull more.
Yeah. So sorry, it was 2011 Ghost Protocol. Yeah. And we have some new players in this with Jeremy Renner being added. Josh Holloway is in this, but of course Paula Patton and Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg makes these movies.
Yeah, Simon Pegg is the comic relief. So that's sort of why he's in there.
If he's not with Nick Frost, he can do it with Tom Cruise, the comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is just a fun international film. A lot of Mission Impossible movies are international. We get the classic Tom Cruise running away from explosions and then being blown away. This is just more of the same Mission Impossible movies. Lots of great action. Really interesting stunts, and of course, Tom Cruise loves to do his own. This is the Mission Impossible sort of whatever they're called, the group gets shut down, and it's implicated in the bombing of the Gremlin, and Ethan Hunt and his new team go rogue to clear their organization's name. Yes. And that's why we get Ghost Protocol. I really like the scenes when they're in the different hotel rooms, and then Tom Cruise has to, scale that, and it's just
you should know the director of this movie because he's made 3 incredible animated movies.
Because the director of this movie is Brad Bird.
Yes, amazing director.
Yeah, his top four is all animated films. But yeah, he did Ratatouille and Incredibles, Incredibles 2, Iron
And the
Giant.
Iron and Tomorrowland, which is definitely his weakest.
Yeah, and then Tomorrowland, based on the ride from Disneyland, did not go well with George Clooney. And then, yeah, he has this awesome action movie in there, which is Ghost Protocol. It's so strange, you know. He does all these sort of family style movies, as is Tomorrowland. But yeah, he went rogue himself for this one, and yeah, we got Ghost Protocol. Do you like this movie?
Yes, I do. It's not my favorite in the Mission Impossible films, although I do prefer Fallout.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great installment, and I'm happy with the added Jeremy Renner in this, and it just worked really well. 7.4 in IMDb. Box office, it had a $145 million budget. A worldwide gross is 694.7. 93% Rotten Tomatoes, 76 audience score. So I think it's sort of like how we are, you know, fans of the series, but not our favorite in the franchise.
Yes. You
But
ready
yes,
for
my
mine?
number four is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Yes.
Yes, hit me with your number four.
So this movie appeared in a. This movie is the fourth installment in a British franchise, a movie that I have spoken about a couple of times, and it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, I almost put this on there.
So in this installment, Harry's in his fourth year and he enters mysteriously this tournament that has all the other schools from the magical world in. And there's normally meant to be three, but Harry gets mysteriously drawn into the competition. And during the last game, he comes face to face with his arch nemesis. This is the first time you see Lord Voldemort on screen, and Ralph Fiennes plays him perfectly.
Yeah, don't we get some Robert Pattinson in this movie?
We get Rob Pattinson, we get David Tennant, we get who's the other girl in it? She was also in Tenet. I can't remember her name.
I don't know. Timothy Spall's in this.
Yeah, and Brendan Gleeson, obviously.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson. Yeah, Cedric Diggory.
That's his name.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a great film, especially hot off the heels of Prisoner of Azkaban. To have a good sort of next installment, one that's can easily, you know, probably is some of people's favorites. It's the longest of the books, I believe, The Goblet of Fire. It's a big thickums. Did you read the books?
No, but I listened to the fourth one on the audio tape.
Mm-hmm. Who is the reader?
Stephen Fry, he reads all the Harry Potter books.
Oh, cool.
He just has a very nice reading voice.
Huh. How come you like this one so much? Or do you just like all of them?
I like all of them, obviously, but this one has one of my favorite magical creatures in dragons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you know me, I love my dragons.
This director did Pushing Tin, The Awakening, Donnie Brasco. That's pretty good.
And one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time.
Great Expectations.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Mona Lisa Smile.
No, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
I do like that movie, to be fair.
Yeah, and of course, Four Weddings and a Funeral, yeah.
That's his most famous film.
Well, yeah, maybe Harry Potter.
That made Hugh Grant a superstar.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's probably most famous for directing that, but his most famous movie might be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because it's such a huge franchise.
True.
Yeah. Harry Potter finds himself competing in a hazardous tournament between rival schools of magic, but he is distracted by recurring nightmares. Lots of Death Eaters in this one.
Yes.
And yeah, all the original cast too. Most of the original cast.
Every time I see Jason Isaacs, as he's been quite popular at the moment, I always picture him as his character in Harry Potter.
I can't get over Mask, so I'm loving his performance in Mask. 7.7 on IMDb. Box budget was 150 million. Worldwide gross is 896.7 million. 88% Rotten Tomatoes, 74% audience score. Pretty darn good, if you ask me.
Yep.
Speaking of pretty darn good, my number 3 is a movie that also crossed the $1 billion mark. It also had a movie come out just this year to continue on the franchise. This movie is it's the 4th installment to one of my favorite all-time movies that was also directed by Mr. Steven Spielberg. This is the 4th installment to Jurassic Park, and it's Jurassic World.
I had a feeling that would be on your list as well.
Oh, yeah. So decades later, we finally get another dinosaur movie, and I could not have been more excited. And I was happy with what I saw. I love the new dinosaur. I also love that, all the new dinosaurs. I also love that the old ones still come into great play here. And yeah, so it's a new theme park that's built to the original site, on the original site of Jurassic Park. And now we got modified hybrid dinosaur, the Indominus Rex, that escapes containment and goes on a killing spree. Also directed by the Colin Trevorrow who did Dominion. Definitely, this is the best one out of the 3 new ones, I would say.
No, it's Fallen Kingdom.
No, I know you like that one. In my opinion, because I'm allowed to have it, this is the best one. He doesn't have many other movies that he did. Safety Not Guaranteed, The Book of Henry. He does like working with.
He seems like he'd be good at doing horror films.
He does like working with Jake Johnson. Also, Vincent D'Onofrio's in this movie. Bryce Dallas Howard is added to this. Judy Greer, but we do have B.D. Wong is back. Oh, and I did not say that Chris Pratt is the main guy in this. Yeah, Chris Pratt is able to train raptors, and we meet Blue, which is a great addition into the franchise. Yeah, we still get Tyrannosaurus Rex, and yeah, unfortunately, Dominion did not work out as well. I did just rewatch it recently, and it's not as bad as I was thinking the first time around. But
it's just lazy writing.
Yeah, and I didn't really care for the locust stuff.
That was the bit that I thought was the bad part of the movie.
Yeah. But the scene when they all are, like, the new cast and the old cast are all standing there together in one.
That's all I wanted.
Frame. That was really cool, and it just took the entire movie for that to happen.
And I liked the pilot lady as well. She was cool.
Yeah, she was rocking. She was so cool. Box office budget. The budget was 150 million. Worldwide gross is 1.6 billion dollars. 6.9 on IMDb. 71% Rotten Tomatoes. 78% audience score. I do love how the poster has him on this motorcycle with the raptors next to him, and then in the second one, he's like in the ball next to some raptors, and then in the third one he's on a horse next to some raptors. So it's so funny that they just keep him changing mobility as he's running away from raptors. But I love Jurassic Park so much. I was so excited for Jurassic World, and it was awesome. Came out in 2015. My number 3 is Jurassic World.
Good pick.
All right. How about you? What you say?
So my number 3 is kind of a little cheat, because even though it's the 4th movie in this franchise, it's the first one that came out. It needs no introduction. It's Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Well, okay, so I would think that that one's tough because the 4th movie released was Episode 1.
Yeah, so that's why I messaged you about it earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so even though that's the first in the third of, it's sort of like Jurassic World. It's the first one in the series of 3, but 4th in the franchise. But yeah, it's Episode 4, so I guess it lands there.
Yes.
It was on some. It is a little. It's a little skimpy, but let's talk about it because it's definitely deserved.
Yes, it's definitely deserved. While we all know the story to Star Wars, it's a nice little story. It doesn't really. It does have some like little cliches that were probably inspired by Dune, that probably inspired Dances with Wolves and Avatar, but I just think it's a really nice world building film that introduces you to this world and these new characters.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about this film is obviously for its time, we're thinking 1977. These are some of the best effects you can get with a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they've managed to remaster it each time to make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I just it's a movie I can just stick on now and just turn off my head to and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like really well written out of all the Star Wars films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nominated for 11 Oscars, won 6. It was nominated for Best Writing, so yeah. But it won Art Direction.
Got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, and Supporting Actor Alec Guinness and Best Director George Lucas. One for Art Direction, Costume Design, Sound, Film Editing, Best Effects, and Best Music.
Yes.
So, number 28 on IMDb as far as top-rated movie. But yes, you're right. Everyone knows this movie. Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Anthony Daniels, directed by the great George Lucas. Do you think we're ever going to get another movie from him? Not Star Wars, but just another movie.
I don't know. I think he's got more talent in writing and producing than directing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is a big movie. 11 million was the budget, $775.3 million. So that's a huge profit. 8.6 on IMDb.
My number 2.
What?
My number 2 is like a big movie as well.
Oh yeah. 8.6 on IMDb, 93% Rotten Tomatoes, 96 audience score. So that is a damn good score. Really good pick. Star Wars obviously is one of the biggest franchises out there.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's got to be on people's list there. Great. I agree. Very good. Visual effects and CGI and stuff, especially during a time when there wasn't as great of equipment as there is now. So, yeah, very deserved.
Yes.
Okay. My number 2 is another action movie because I love the action. It is the 4th installment into this movie franchise, even has number 4 as part of its title. Not the best in the franchise, but it could be second or third. I think only one maybe a little weaker, but this one was so much fun. Not only did we have the original cast, but we added a couple of fun actors to this. One that can kick some ass, and one that talks a lot of crap and is hilarious. This movie, starring Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci, and Rene Russo, came out in 1998, and it's a Lethal Weapon 4.
Which I've
I
heard
had
is one of the best Lethal Weapon films.
I had number 2 as my favorite sequel, and this is a great fourth installment. Again, it's just really, really funny because of Chris Rock. You can tell that Mel Gibson and Danny Glover were having a great time in this movie. They're even older than when they said that they're too old for this. Richard Donner came back to direct. Jet Li is so badass in this movie. I mean, this is him before he became sort of the before he can do a movie where he stands on his own, meaning like he's the lead, because he's always in,
I'm pretty sure he was in like Hong Kong films beforehand.
Correct. I'm talking about American. So because he was in like Hero, and then he was also in Unleashed. So he was able to carry some movies.
I think Tony Leung could carry an American film.
You think what?
I think Tony Leung could carry an American film.
Yeah,
he's done Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I mean he did with Shang-Chi, I believe. But also, he also did Romeo Must Die with Aaliyah. So this is, before all that. And I thought he did a great job. He was actually it was like scary to me because he's so good at martial arts that I was worried for Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in this movie. But Joe Pesci still is great as Leo gets. And then, like I said, Chris Rock is hilarious in this movie and really adds good elements to it. Because he's going after Danny Glover's daughter. So that is a no-no for him, especially because he's a cop. Budget was $140 million. Worldwide gross is $285.4. So that's pretty darn good.
Is his original wife still in it? Danny Glover's?
Let's check. I believe she was in all of them.
So she's one of my favorite characters.
Darlene Love and Trish Murtaugh. Yeah, she's still in it.
Yes, she's one of my favorite characters in the franchise.
Yeah, she's great. I love that entire family. 52% Rotten Tomatoes, audience score is 64%, and the IMDb is 6.6. So not great, but I love it. I love this one.
No, it's good to be passionate about something, and my number 2 is something I'm very passionate about. It's a fourth installment in the MCU, and it's Avengers End Game.
Yeah.
You had a feeling this was going to be on my list, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
So after the events of Infinity War, the Avengers must team up one more time to go back in time and collect all the Infinity Stones because they've been destroyed by Thanos. So they have to go back in time and get all the Infinity Stones to restore the population. And this movie is big, it's incredible, it's a nostalgia trip to the other MCU films. Plus, at the end, you get this massive battle with Thanos and his army against all the Avengers and all the side characters. And I just think this is one of the best end climaxes to a movie, especially when you've had like 10 years build up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everyone is in this movie. If you were in an MCU movie, you're in this one, unless you're Terrence Howard. Ba-boom!
Or Edward Norton.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
But
yeah, but
they're
Robert.
better in non-superhero films anyway.
Mhm, mhm. All the greats: Robert Downey, Chris Evans, Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, ScarJo, Paul Rudd, Chadwick, Elizabeth Olsen, even Rene Russo's in this one. Karen
Yes, so there's a
Gillan,
link.
yeah, yeah. Thor gets his axe in this one.
No, he doesn't. He gets
There's a
super
lot
fat.
of,
So he gets super
huh?
fat. It's the other one he gets his axe.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I
it's
know
the
he
one
gets
where
fat,
he gets fat and he
but
plays Fortnite with Korg and Meek.
no, I know, but isn't the reason why he gets the axe is because Captain America was able to handle the
No, he
hammer
got the axe to kill Thanos in the third one.
and then got fat. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody not know what this movie is?
No. I
Yeah,
think everybody in the world is in this movie.
yeah. $356 million budget, $2.7 billion. 8.4 on IMDb, 94% Rotten Tomatoes, 90% audience score. Is this your favorite Avengers?
Out of the four, yes.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why?
Why is my favourite the fourth one out of
Yeah.
Infinity War, Age of Ultron, and the first one?
Yeah. Why is it your favorite?
Just because of how epic it is and how it like completes like loads of different story arcs and has like
Mm-hmm.
amazing visual effects.
Mm-hmm. And we lose some of our loves.
Yes, yes, two of them, which I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
say, just in case somebody watching hasn't seen the film yet.
I mean, this movie's made $2.7 billion, so I think
It's the
that's a
second
dollar.
highest grossing film of all time.
I think it's a dollar for everybody that can pay for it in the United States. Yeah, great pick.
Are you one of the people that watched this movie in cinema?
Yeah, I watched it in cinema.
I watched it twice.
Yep. And I don't really cry in movies, but it definitely got a little dusty in the theater.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I believe we have the same number one, so let's just hop on it together.
Yes.
This is the fourth movie in this franchise. It's almost like they revitalized it, gave it fresh breath, gave it more
Yes.
breath than the third one. Even to me, better than the first and the second one,
Yes.
because of how awesome the action is in this movie, how great the acting is, how great the visual effects are. Uh,
The score.
Starring Hardy and Charlize Theron.
The
This movie
score
came
is
out in
beautiful.
2015, and this movie is called
Mad Max Fury Road, which
That's
now
Right.
this episode is basically turned into a discussion on this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we kind of knew going in that this was going to be in the number one. This is one of my all-time favorite movies, just
It's one of
period.
my all-time favorite movies as well.
It's great action, great
Yes.
storytelling,
Yes.
even though it's super simple because it does start in one area, drives to another, then drives back. So it is, but it still has great storyline. You feel it's thrilling. You're with them every sort of step of the way. Um, Tom Hardy's fantastic. What George Miller did with this production design, even though it's mostly outside, was just brilliant. Costumes, makeup, everything was killer in this. The score, yeah, the sound. It was nominated. It won 6 Oscars, which was the biggest for that year, but it was nominated for 10. It should have won Best Picture, but that's okay.
I thought The Revenant was going to win that year, but it was Spotlight.
Yeah. Won film editing, costume design, makeup and hair, sound mixing, sound editing, and
And
production design.
I also gave it a lot of Fleming awards. I gave it best film, best actress, best adapted screenplay, best score, best editing, best production design, best stunt team, best visual effects, best hair and makeup, and best sound.
Yes, yes, yes. Also nominated for picture, directing, cinematography, and visual effects. Surprise!
How did Charlize Theron not get nominated for best actress? Her character's the best thing about this movie.
Unfortunately, it would have been supporting actor, or I mean,
How would
actress.
it be? How would it be supporting actress if she's in the majority of the film?
Because
Anthony Hopkins appears less than she does in Silence of the Lambs, but he wins Best Actor.
Because you have to be that damn good, and I don't think she's that damn good in this movie. This isn't her best performance, you know, but it's really good.
Monster.
But yeah, I bet you they would have been supporting actress, unfortunately. So Zoe Kravitz is also in this movie, who's huge right now. Nicholas Hoult, Riley Keough, who's great lately. Yeah, Megan Gale as the Valkyrie. George Miller came back to direct this bad boy. He has a new movie coming out with Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba.
And he's still using John Seal, Margaret Zixel, and Junkie XL as his crew.
Nice, as he should. Yeah, this movie is just spectacular. Pretty much a masterpiece. Saw it in theaters. I have a t-shirt of it. I love it. What a lovely day. Budget was $150 million.
Oh, and Nathan Jones is in this movie. We saw him this year in Spiderhead.
Nathan Jones.
He's a former wrestler.
Oh, right. Yeah. Rictus Erectus is his name.
And Riley Keough is also in this too.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, 150 million was the budget. 375.7 million was its takeaway.
And in 2024, we're getting more of Furiosa with Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% for the audience score, and 8.1 for IMDb.
Yes.
It's a post-apocalyptic wasteland. A woman rebels against a tyrannical ruler in search for her homeland with the aid of a group of female prisoners, a psychotic worshiper, and a drifter named Max.
Exactly. See, this is why it should be Best Actress for Rome, because she is the main character. Tom Hardy is there for the ride.
Look, we can argue it all we want, but the fact is that the Academy is assholes, and that's what they would have done. Is put her support.
It doesn't make sense. She's one of the greatest characters of all time.
Here's what does make sense, is that she wasn't even nominated, so there's no point. Unfortunately. But great film. All right, let's count them.
If she was nominated, she would have won over Brie Larson.
No effing way. Brie was.
But Charlize Theron is a much better actress than Brie Larson.
That doesn't mean that they give better performance.
Charlize Theron has a mouth on her either.
Brie Larson did a way better job in Room than Charlize Theron did as Furiosa. Way better.
To see Room.
So you haven't even seen it?
I'm not big on Brie Larson. She has an attitude problem.
You shouldn't argue stuff when you don't have a leg to stand on, brother. You got to see it first. Let's see who was nominated for Best Supporting Actress 2016.
It's the actress I like that won. The one that plays Lara Croft.
Alicia Vikander.
Yes, but my favorite was Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. That's why I think she should have won.
Well, why was she nominated for supporting when she was the only main girl in that one?
I don't know, because it was more of an ensemble piece, I guess.
What about Rooney Mara in Carol when she was one of the main girls in that one? What about Kate Winslet and Steve Jobs when she was the only girl in that one? See what I mean? See what I mean? How it doesn't make sense?
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, Kate Winslet, Rooney Mara, and Rachel McAdams were nominated.
Yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh was supporting. She was the antagonist of the film.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why wasn't she lead?
Because
nominated.
Because Samuel L. Jackson's lead in that film.
Well, Max is the lead in Mad Max Fury Road. Nominees for Best Actress was Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn, Cate Blanchett for Carol, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, and Brie Larson for Room.
The only one I've seen is Joy.
Boy, oh boy. Brooklyn's good.
I've always wanted to see Brooklyn and Room. Just never really had the opportunity to.
All right, let's count them down. Let's count down our fourth installments, movie franchises. My number 5 is The Next Karate Kid.
My number 5 is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
My number 4 is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Which I now think I should have put in my list, but my number 4 is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
My number 3 is Jurassic World.
My number 3 is Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
My number 2 is Lethal Weapon 4.
My number 2 is Avengers End Game.
And we tied at number 1 with
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes. Yeah, I tried to stay out of the franchises that I've already dove into when I'm doing these sort of lists. But I had to put Lethal Weapon 4 in there because it is a great installment in the series. But
I didn't see the Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner.
No, if it doesn't have Matt Damon in it, it's not going to be a goodie.
Yeah, so that's the weakest of the franchise, all 5 movies.
Well, maybe, because Jason Bourne is kind of weak too, but yeah, some of the do you have any awesome rants?
There was a couple I was thinking, but I think you've already mentioned them. To Jurassic World, I was thinking about as well.
Yeah,
I have more dishonorable mentions, if that helps.
Yeah, what?
I have more dishonorable mentions.
Okay.
Batman and Robin.
Uh-huh.
I bet Thor: Love and Thunder would be a dishonorable mention for you.
Yeah. Also ran The Muppet
Oh,
Christmas
I know.
Carol.
I got another good one. Superman 4: A Quest for Peace. Another dishonorable one.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, good ones. Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Live Free or Die Hard wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was it. That was an honorable mention as well.
American Reunion wasn't too bad. I love Terminators. Christian Bale did a pretty good job in Terminator Salvation.
Yes, that was an honorable mention. That was one I was considering.
Shrek Forever After is okay.
More of a dishonorable mention.
Yeah. Scream 4. Nah.
Need to see Scream 4.
Saw 4.
What was it?
Halloween 4.
I heard Halloween gets more ridiculous after them before. I've seen Final Destination 4.
Transformers Age of Extinction.
Dishonorable. Yeah, definitely dishonorable. Kelsey Grammer's acting is terrible.
Well, yeah, Twilight Saga Breaking Down Part 1 and Mockingjay Part 1.
Do you mean Mockingjay Part 2?
Yes, Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quest for Peace is in there. Spy Kids 4. Jaws: The Revenge, and Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Road Chip.
How many Alvin and the
Haven't seen-
Chipmunks film are they going to make?
I think that's it. It stopped at the fourth one.
Yeah, because they'll probably reboot it now.
Yeah, right. Great. Any movie recommendations this week?
Yes. Yesterday, for the first time, I watched Andrew Dominik's first movie, Chopper. He's got a new film coming out in September with Blonde, the Marilyn Monroe film. So I've checked out all three of his films this year. There's Chopper, The Assassination of Jesse James, and my personal favourite of his, Killing Them Softly. But because I've recently watched Chopper, that's the one I recommend. It's a very performance-driven film by Eric Bana, who just gives the performance of his lifetime. He's not really much of a well-known actor. He's more well-known for playing the Hulk, but in this film, he gives off his best performance I've seen him do. And he is really an underrated actor from the land down under. But yeah, if you like these kind of crime drama, this is based off a true story, but it's not really a biopic. It states that at the start of the film. But yeah, if you like these crime drama stuffs about like people's experiences in prison and like being a criminal, then I highly recommend you check it out.
Awesome.
But if you want a better Andrew Dominik film, you watch Killing Them Softly.
I'm gonna look up this Chopper. I've definitely heard of it.
You probably have seen it on several DVD stands.
Chopper.
Came out in the year 2000.
And Chopper, Killing Them Softly. It's got a few others announced, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, looking forward to Blonde. We'll see how that goes.
Yes.
All right. My recommendation of the week is one of my friend here's favorite movie of the year. It's out for you to rent right now. It's a lovely little film, and it's called The Phantom of the Open.
Yay!
Yeah, Mark Rylance is, ready for a new adventure in his life, and so the telly gets turned on, and he sees somebody playing golf. And he's like, I want to start doing that. And so he signs up to go play in the British Open, not a professional, and becomes the worst golfer in the world. That's what his name is deemed as. And this is based off a true story. So it's kind of interesting because he was so popular and known for being the worst golfer in the world. So what do you can't hide, you can't go back, to the British Open. They're going to know who you are. So he disguises himself as other people so he can play very poorly in the British Open again and again and again.
But don't you like the message that he just wants to try?
Yes, and that's the thing. Yeah, like practice, what does he say? Is like practice makes it work or something like that. And like that became like a saying that people started using.
Oh, practice makes perfect.
Practice what?
I think that's the saying, practice makes perfect.
Well, yeah, practice, that is a real saying, but from the Phantom of the Open, he said something else. But it's just a sweet little film. I just love Mark Rylance. I thought he did a great job. I think the story was great. I love how the film itself was kind of grainy because it was set in, I think the 70s.
Yeah.
So I really like that. But yeah, also Sally Hawkins is in this, and
she's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I really love the twins in this movie. They're dancers, and I thought they were really great. Yeah. But this can be streamed right now. You can buy it, you can rent it, and I would say it's definitely worth the $5 or $6.
You might know the director because he's an actor. His name's Craig Roberts.
Craig Roberts.
He's in a famous Seth Rogen comedy film.
Let's see. Oh, he was in the Current War Director's Cut. He was in 22 Jump Street, Neighbors.
That's the one.
Yeah. Let's see about director.
Have you seen his film Submarine?
Mm-mm.
It's directed by the British guy from The Watch, Richard Ard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's also a director as well.
Nice. Yeah, he's kind of young. Wow, he's younger than me. Great. Yeah, Fan in the Open and Chopper. Go check them out. Great.
Yes.
How are you on A League of Their Own?
It's in the ballpark.
Nice one. Speaking of ballparks, on Saturday, as part of one of the birthday festivities, we went to a park and watched The Sandlot with a bunch of people outside. It was awesome. It was
The Sandlot sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great coming of age movie with kids playing baseball in the Sandlot by their house. So awesome. What a great episode.
Yes, what a great episode. We got to talk about one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Mad Max Fury Road. I don't have an idea for next week.
All right, well, we'll chat about it. I'll send some ideas. Let's see what's coming out soon. Why don't you tell people where they can find you?
So if I'm not chatting to Justin, I'm reviewing films daily. Today I did a list of my favourite films and the best cinematography from the 1990s. Yesterday's Marvel Mondays was Iron Man 3, so make sure you check that out. You can check this all out on robbiereviews.co.uk, and you can also check out the other videos on the Chiefy channel. Not done any more videos, but I do have some in mind. And you can find Justin on Worth the V Movies on every single platform you can find.
That's right.
We'll probably be on Snapchat next as well, the V Movies.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do anything on there. All right, let's see. Coming out on Friday is Nope. The Gray Man, of course. You and I are going to talk about that.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to talking about that with you.
The week after is DC League of Super Pets.
Ooh.
So that's pretty tough.
No, if we can do our favourite animated superhero films.
Animated superhero.
Yeah, there have been some in the last 10 years. Maybe even longer.
All right, we'll think about it. Wonder if we can do something with Nope.
Nope. I'm just trying to think because the only thing I can suggest doing is top 5 Daniel Kaluya performances.
We might only have 5.
No, he was he had minor roles in British films. He's been on a lot of TV shows. I can do.
Who are we talking about again?
Daniel Kaluuya, the one from Judas and the Black Messiah.
Right, yeah. I want to be able to do that.
I bet you've only seen the Get Out and Judas and the Black Messiah out his films.
No, he's in Black Panther.
Haven't you seen Sicarlo? He's in that, the Danny Villeneuve one.
Sicario?
Yeah, he's also in Kick-Ass 2. He's also in the second Johnny English film. He's been in quite a lot.
my god, that's hilarious.
What, these being the comedy film?
Mm-hmm. I wish the Russo brothers had more credits. We could have
Not
done
just you.
that.
Not. I've seen You, Me, and Dupree. That's
Me
a
too.
funny film.
Yeah. All right, I'll think of something.
Yes.
All right, yeah, worth a few movies and other things.
I love your T-shirt, by the way.
Thanks. Awesome. Yes. If you guys have any suggestions for topics for us to talk about, please put it down in the thread. What are your favorite fourth installments of movie franchises?
Is yours Mad Max Fury Road as well, or is it End Game? Do you think End Game's better, or do you think Lethal Weapon 4 is better?
Tell us now.
Yes, please tell us. Drop all your favorite fourth installments down now.
Yes, and great. We'll have something lined up for us for next week. And
Definitely.
until next time.
Until next time. Bye, Justin. Do.